Hi everyone, good evening.
Hi Pawan, nice to see that you have connected.
Maybe you can stop screen sharing. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Hi Manikumar, Akshaya, Sai Prashant.
Hello, sir.
Hi Sai Prashant, what do you do?
Sir, I have recently completed my master's from University of Hyderabad.
Okay.
I worked in Professor Appara Podile lab.
Oh, okay. Okay. So what is your next ambition?
So I'm looking for PhD admissions, and in the meanwhile, I'm preparing. I'm trying to join in some projects.
Okay, good. So you want to stay in India or go abroad?
Actually, abroad, sir. But I don't know how to go. I'm approaching things, and
Very good. I think today's session will really tell you a lot of things.
I hope so. Thank you.
Sure. And how did you get to know about this event?
I followed in LinkedIn, sir.
That's good. LinkedIn is the best way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I was meeting Apparo sir a week back.
Yeah.
I think 1 week or 2 weeks back. Today he's not there in the office, right?
Actually, I recently completed, sir. I'm a postgraduate now. Like 2 months ago, I'm postgraduated.
And where are you staying now?
I'm staying in my hometown, sir, Mancherial.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's better you stay back in Hyderabad.
Yes, sir. Actually, I usually stay back, but for holidays, I just came for 1 week.
Okay. Because you'll have more connections and you can meet people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Dr. Jyoti, Pushpendra Singh, Monisha, please keep your cameras on and microphones on and keep speaking. This is these are networking events, these FABA Fridays. We are trying to bring speakers or give presentations on topics just to teach you on something, but otherwise this is more of a networking and getting to know people and mostly, what I always say is like we are collaborators, and then we should somehow keep this momentum going on. So please turn on your cameras, guys, and keep speaking. Hi, Tilak sir. Good evening. Hello, Dr. Jyoti. How are you? How is Madhavi? Hi, Tilak sir. So dialing in from Chandigarh.
Good evening.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Tilak sir, బాగున్నారా?
బాగున్నాను సార్, మీరు ఎలా ఉన్నారు?
బాగానే ఉన్నాం.
ఇప్పుడే నేను స్పీకర్ ఆన్ చేశాను, ఇంత నుంచి ఏం రావట్లేదు అని చూసుకుంటూ స్పీకర్ ఆన్ లో ఉంది. ఓకే సార్.
Congratulations for all your success, sir.
Thank you అండి, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్.
I hope you will hire somebody in the group today.
Surely. And one more thing is that my HR is also joining the same link. Her name is Pushpa.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Fantastic, sir.
Good evening, sir. I'm Pushpa here from Sandra Laboratories.
Hello, madam. Hello. Good evening.
How are you, sir?
Great, ma'am. Great. And we are really counting on your success that you can hire our students.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. So Tilak sir company is looking for somebody who has really good analytical experience, who can handle LCMS, and basically who can take care of the office as a head of the department. Right, Tilak sir?
And secondly, as our HR recently mentioned that one more person needed with a moderate experience who can handle food and pharma compliances of microbiology.
Okay.
So we recently got the accreditation from Drug Control Authority. So it's a new vertical which is growing now. So there we need one analytical head who is having hands-on experience and who is a decision maker and who can take a decision and who can handle the customer. And who can take care of all the operations of the lab, along with the microbiology also. And we need a person who is moderately good in doing the food and pharma samples of relevant to the microbiology.
Excellent. Very good.
So these two are the present requirements, and junior level also requirement is there. Subsequently, we are going to extend that.
We'll run a job ad, sir. Today we are launching this FABA Recruit. So that's like a highlight of the program. Hi Kishorana, good evening. I saw you turn on the camera, please. I'm happy to see a lot of good recruiters and inspiring people here.
Hi everyone.
Anna, good evening.
Hi.
Hi. The speaker is also here. Hi Pawan. Good evening. Yeah.
Very good evening. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, great. Thanks.
I think I'm just trying to keep the engagement lively, so that, I mean, this FABA Fridays is an initiative by FABA where it's more about networking. I mean, we are trying to engage speakers in one or the other topic, but otherwise it's like somebody who's looking for any question to be cleared. This is a forum that we are trying to create. If I know something, I will be a mentor. If I do not know something, I will be a mentee. So that's why I'm encouraging everybody to turn on your cameras, keep speaking. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask. It's a community, it's a forum that we need to build, because life science community unfortunately doesn't have a very good engaging mentorship programs, and many of us struggle even though we have PhDs or MScs, and FABA is trying to bridge that, like kind of identify where we can really bring great. Anybody wants to say anything or speak something? Otherwise, I'll start introducing FABA and then I'll hand over it to Pawan. Okay, if not. So guys, I mean, I believe that you all know about FABA. Otherwise, I'll give a small presentation which will help what FABA is and also what kind of solutions that you can look for when you join FABA. So let me share my screen and start presenting. So FABA, or the abbreviation is Federation of Asian Biotech Association, which is a non-profit organization started in 2004 and has a global presence across 22 countries. And we are the organizer of a big event called BioAsia. And our main intent is like how to connect academia and industry. So mainly in the pharma and biopharma sector. We are present right now in Asia, Africa, also expanding to a couple of European countries, like opening a Czech Republic chapter, Germany. And we proudly say we are a connector of academia, industry, and government, and also government to government connector, because we help a couple of pharma companies to launch their products in, let's say, Asian countries or African countries. And we are also an upskilling center. I'll tell you what is an upskilling center. So our overall mission is basically to promote innovation and entrepreneurship in biotechnology, thereby bridging the gap between academia and industry. So I'll skip all these slides. So we work with various stakeholders. We work with government organizations, incubators, investors, students, startups, institutes, pharma, biopharma companies, universities, colleges, anybody who can basically help in the biotechnology ecosystem. So biotechnology is a broad term that I'm using here, anything related to life sciences. It could be agriculture, it could be poultry, it could be fisheries, whatever it is, something that brings value to animal life or human life, or anything that is in life science sector, we deal with it. And so we identify into three verticals. One of the main vertical, which has been there from past 20 years, is a biotechnology ecosystem builder on enabler. I will tell you what exactly that means. First, let me introduce our mentors, like who guide us. So we have Mr. BP Acharya, IAS Garu, and Ms. Sheila Baide, IAS Garu, and Dr. Saidi Hassan, who are our patrons and mentors. So they guide us. But the main team, or the executive council, we call it as a think tank, are these people. So right now our president is from Bangladesh, Dr. Azul Ghani. We have the main pillar, our heart and brain of FABA is Professor Redena, who is the executive president. And we have many other players from coming from academia, industry, startup sector, or investment sector. Anything that you name in the biotechnology field, we are covered through our executive council. So these are our guiding pillars. But we also have international chapters. Like for example, in our Zoom meeting now, you'll see a lot of people joining from Nigeria, Bangladesh, Pakistan. So many of they are joining from some of our chapters. So we have chapters in Bangladesh, Indonesia, Pakistan, Malaysia, Nigeria, Japan, Saudi Arabia, and there are new chapters that are coming up. So when I say ecosystem building or enable, we do big events. Like for example, this one, when COVID was there, we kind of address the issue of supply chain challenges of COVID-19 vaccines. So we team up with people like in government, industries who are actually tackling these COVID issues, COVID vaccines, then we work with them. And then another one noteworthy thing that we did is that we helped Andhra Pradesh government to tackle antimicrobial challenges, and we gave them an implementation plan in accordance with WHO. So we invited speakers from WHO, UN, and other international organizations to see how a state can tackle antimicrobial resistance. And this is the thing that is launched by Andhra Pradesh government. And these are the pictures. So another one which we recently did in Genome Valley, Hyderabad, is that bringing academia and industry. It's called Hyderabad Life Science Innovation Cluster Meet, where industry runs in its own way, academia runs its own way, but there is no connection that nobody comes and collaborates. So FABA took this initiative because Hyderabad has really good companies. I think around 3,000 pharma companies are here, and it's called as Pharma Capital of the World. And also where many esteemed institutes are here, like CCMB, CDFD, University of Hyderabad. They hardly meet. That's where we organize this meet, and people worked on, industry academia collaboration for promotion of innovation and translation research. So like that, we do ecosystem developments. We do a lot of other initiatives as well. But today that's not the focus. The focus is FABA Academy. So Academy is basically all about students, all about what can we do for students. So it is launched in 2020, mainly to bridge the gap between industry and academia. So we do various workshops, we do various webinars. I mean, why we are doing Academy is basically we have the network. We have the network not only in India, but also abroad. But what shall we do with network? We do big events. But what about somebody who is joining life sciences, who thinks that there is no career? This is where FABA Academy stepped in. And it became the heart of the FABA because everybody loves to talk to the students and mentor them. Need where FABA Academy is kind of our main aim, a main focus of FABA. And then we started this FABA Fridays that every Friday we need to keep talking to students. So this is the 10th FABA Friday we are doing. So we do various workshops, webinars, skill development program, hands-on trainings, conferences. We do job placements, finishing school, women empowerment in life science, and industry readiness programs. So a couple of things like finishing schools, you will soon hear that we are launching 3 finishing schools in collaboration with Plant Biotechnology, Agri-Biotech Foundation, in collaboration with IKP. We are in talks in collaboration with Dr. Reddy's Institute of Life Sciences. The main idea is that the student who finishes masters and unable to find a job, we will retrain them and provide them directly to industry in collaboration with the industry. So these are our couple of very noteworthy workshops: drug discovery and development workshops, biologics and biosimilars, chromatography, biosafety, cyber biosecurity, basic biochemistry, and soft skills as well. So here are a couple of pictures that we recently did physical events as well. And the last one is FABA entrepreneurship. So we also work with startups. We help them to get funding. We do co-creation entrepreneurship awareness events like hackathons. We make startups investment ready. We also co-invest, and we do not have fund yet, but we are aiming to be one of the VC to invest along with other VCs. We provide mentoring and scaling services to startups, mainly when startups need regulatory affairs, clinical trials, or marketing, etc. Our USP basically lies in connecting whenever they need something. So in total, we trained around 12,000 people just past 3 years with 100+ webinars and workshops. We have 25 executive council members as well as 22 international chapters. In a nutshell, if somebody says, what is FABA? FABA is a network. With that network, we have Academy to train students on human resource development or to train startups on investing or anything that they need. So something that is worthy of a screenshot is this picture, upcoming programs of FABA. If you want to participate in FABA programs, we have so many programs that are lined up. Actually, there's also one more slide that we can put, but just for your eyes that we have put this one. So one noteworthy one is this third one called Analytica in-person career event on 16th of September. I will share a slide where we are inviting around 2,000 to 3,000 students come to Hyderabad, And there will be around 400 analytical companies. They will be showcasing their products. And we will also do a career event there where we will train you on how to make your CV. We'll also look for somebody who can do a live interview so that you get exposed what happens in the interview. And also we'll take a professional picture, and we'll also train you how to do the art of networking. So remaining other things are workshops. Like fifth one is how to do a CRISPR, especially in plant genomics, and a couple of other things are there. So just take a screenshot. We'll also keep sending you if you have registered to our email address through our newsletters or our Substack. So this is one thing. And so you can also start working supporting FABA. So you can how to support FABA. So FABA is a non-profit organization. It solely relies on donations and sponsorships. We do not have anybody backing either government or private companies. We solely run on the memberships, or you can donate, and we also have tax exemption. So 50% whatever you donate in India will be tax exempted. That means you can claim it back. You can also join our team. You can be volunteer. You can provide mentorship to our students, or you can provide access to resources. Or if you want to take membership, these are the fees. For a student, it starts with 1,000 rupees. For an individual, it's 2,000 per year. And for institution is around 17,000 per year, or we also have lifetime memberships and we give certificates for that. And for startup, it's 11,000. And for a corporate, it's 59,000. So that's basically about FABA, and I'll just run you through what FABA Fridays is. Then I'll hand over it to Pawan. So FABA Fridays is basically a basically a jumpstart your career in life science through a community. So it's a peer-to-peer community and event where anybody, whoever has a question, they should feel free to ask, and they should ask and get clarified. What we are also aiming is to do cohort planning, like if somebody is interested to go abroad for a PhD, and we want to combine them, like let's say 10 or 20 people who wants to do the same, and provide them with their mentor, so that the thing is handled in a proper way. Otherwise, nobody trains you. Like even though you come from a very big university, it's very tough. I mean, I'm happy at least Pawan is helping us with the Erasmus scholarships, but it's otherwise nobody really helps you. Everybody reinvents their own wheel. They need to identify how to write a CV. I mean, I know many people doesn't even know how to write a simple email. So this is where FABA wants to help you out by making cohorts and help you with the FABA memberships. And so these are our FABA Fridays that we have done so far. So on June 2nd, we started with CV writing, then cover letter, art of networking, making a good LinkedIn profile, acing your job interview, opportunities in interdisciplinary and emerging sciences, communication, goal setting, a scientific approach to career development by a Harvard guy last time. And now we have very experienced Pawan here to talk about scholarships and fellowships to pursue master's or PhD abroad. So, I mean, as I said, FABA Fridays is a weekly get together on a particular topic. It's a peer-to-peer mentoring based on the topic. When I say peer-to-peer, please keep in mind you are not small here or big here. Everybody are equal. You can train us on something that we don't need, or you can get trained on something that you do not know. We have to collaboratively help each other. This FABA Friday will help you either applying for jobs or otherwise upskill you for getting a job or PhD. So a couple of ground rules we have set for when somebody joins FABA Friday. You have to be very positive. That's very, very important to keep the vibe going on. You have to be proactive. That means like you should cut down on your cameras. You should keep speaking. Otherwise, there's no point in joining. It's not a class where you just join and then afterwards you keep in the back end and goes like my niece does it. She turns on the camera. Her online classes are going on. She will be playing. So this is not the way for FABA Friday. We really want you to be proactive, and this is a training for you that how to be to mingle with the society. And you need to be open. Negativity will be cut down. Like if somebody posts negative comments or negative, they will be just blocked. And be collaborative. This is very important. And something that we posted on LinkedIn today that we are really excited to do is something called FABA Recruit. So this one, let me finish this one. So it's a career connect we are doing on September 16th in collaboration with something called Messe Munich, India. And they have an event called India Lab Expo, where there will be 400 analytical instruments. They will be showcasing their product. And also they will be giving live demos. On that day, FABA is happy to do a career event, which will be a day-long event. We'll have many HR coming from many pharmaceutical companies in and around Hyderabad. We will try to pull job ads from them and put it there. And we'll make you meet them, the HRs. So it could be, applying for PhD, or it could be for jobs. So this is the place. So it's a physical event, not a virtual event. It will be in Hightex. So it's for free. So we got everybody covered. So we'll have live hiring, we'll have demo sessions, We'll have CV networking sessions, and also we'll take a professional picture for free when you come there. Come informal, so that this goes on your LinkedIn and on your CV. So the thing that we are proud to launch today on FABA Fridays is that FABA Recruit. So in the FABA Recruit, we will help you get hired. So we will help you providing internships, jobs, projects, or scholarships. So we have a couple of jobs already listed down from a couple of our startup companies. I'll showcase them with you after Pawan's session. So Pawan, now the stage is yours. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, I was reading your profile. So you have been to some like Norway, you got selected, and you have been to Erasmus and alumni associations. So I was also abroad on other fellowships, but not on Erasmus. And the way how you are helping others with Erasmus is really commendable. And also congratulations for your startup called Cohort. And let us know how FABA can help you out. Thank you, Pawan. Yeah.
First of all, Dr. Jagdish, thank you so much. And it's actually very incredible to see the vision and the roadmap what you have for FABA, because in Europe, I get to see this quite a lot, right? I've been living in Europe for the last 15 years, and I just moved to India in March this year because I just wanted to kind of come back and share all the experiences I have gained. And I've traveled almost 40 plus countries so far. So I think it's amazing. And I really love the kind of structure and the ambitions what you have. And I just wish you best, FABA, to achieve whatever you plan to do. And I would love to collaborate with you guys on this mission. And I just decided not to have any presentation because I've done that so many times, and I just wanted to keep this conversation very authentic and also to kind of share my own experience, my own journey, and then talk about how and in different ways I've kind of evolved as a person and how I've gone on to help several other peoples, and how people like me, there's several of us out there who is helping each other to basically have a successful career in one way or the other. So just to start, I know that there are almost 60 plus people today. I come from Bangalore. I've born and bred in Bangalore. I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, got placed in several companies, and ended up going to US through Timken. They're into bearing and steel. When I went to US, that was the first time actually I'd seen how life or world is, and how, or actually even heard the word scholarship. Until then, I didn't know this. And now platforms like FABA is giving information to such a good way. And in 2006 or 7, when I was actually considering for masters, the information was almost limited or didn't exist. So when I came across people, when they talked about they actually had studied through some funding or scholarship, it built my curiosity. And at the same time, I was also learning German language, because there was this talk as a mechanical engineer that Germany is best for mechanical engineers, and then its education is completely free in public universities in Germany. And then 3 or 4 of our close friends, we all were taking German language to consider going to Germany. And actually when I was looking into these German universities, University of Stuttgart specifically, I came across a scholarship called Erasmus Mundus. And it was very funny because back then they used to give much more money than what they do now, because now they streamlined all the cost depending on the course. Before, depending on the country, you would actually get more money. Depending on if you're staying in a lower paying country, you would get more scholarship. And I didn't believe, I thought it's a scam. Like, I thought, like, why would somebody give you 50 lakh scholarship to go and study in their countries? And I didn't believe it initially. It took me some couple of days to figure out, like, okay, actually scholarship exists. People genuinely want people from different parts of the world to come in. And I was wondering, like, why are people giving in this scholarship in the first place, right? And I just made one application. But the biggest difference in that application was I put in my heart and soul into it, because that was exactly the course I wanted to do back then. And that was really fitting into my background. And I just put in all the things what Dr. Jagdish showed was something which nobody taught us back then. Again, we didn't have all these mentoring, guidance, etc. So we had to really, and the LinkedIn also was not active as much as it is today. So had to really make a lot of network, talk to a lot of different kind of people, get their support, build, get feedback, make iterations, and then make one solid application. So, and then of course, I won the scholarship. I was very lucky. I felt very, very lucky to get this opportunity because it transformed my life in significant ways. Since then, I've been very active in Erasmus Mundus Association, though I've been working full-time in various jobs. Erasmus Mundus Association, where I got the scholarship, was something very close to my heart because when I went for the first General Assembly, just like how FABA is today, we have also Erasmus Mundus Association, but it is supported by the European Commission. So it gets funding from the European Commission. And we had a gathering of 200 people in a conclave. And this was the first time I was actually being to that. And I met around 200 people in this who are from various different fields. And coming from engineering, I really didn't know so many other fields as such. And it just fascinated me. And I saw that how people are actually from different walks of life, from so many different countries. I just felt that this is my kind of life I want to actually proceed and live with. And since then, I've been very actively involved in the association. I've been helping lots of people to actually reach out to this Erasmus Mundus scholarship. And almost like 750 people I've helped in the scholarship. Within that specifically, maybe around 500 plus of them were through Erasmus Mundus in various aspects itself. So in the last couple of years, when the COVID hit, I just felt that there's so much of opportunities which is out there. Easily, maybe around 50,000 to 1 lakh Indians can get scholarship. Only around 10,000 of them every year get scholarship. And I'm talking about masters, bachelors, PhD, postdoc, etc. Right? So people don't really, first of all, know what is available out there, A. And secondly, people don't know how to build it. The problem is that how the education system we have set up is very much based on just academic marks and scoring in some competitive exam. But when it comes to basically getting an admit abroad or getting scholarships, it's all about your holistic profile. And this is where I felt that there was a need, there was a gap. And most of the study abroad was more like consultants who never stepped out of the country, but giving you advices and kind of pushing you through various universities abroad. And they were, of course, based on a huge commission model. So they've never really focused on cutting the student debt or encouraging people to actually study with scholarship. So what I felt is, how could we actually address this challenge? How can people encourage themselves and spend, maybe, I don't know how many of you are there in bachelor's or master's or PhD. It's all about profile building. And it was very nice to see what FABA had in its slide. If you really don't build your profile, there's no way you're going to win a scholarship, period. And it's not about your CGPA. I think many of us mistake that it's all about our CGPA. It's not. It's all about every aspect is considered in a scholarship. So right now with cohort, what we're trying to do is not only encourage towards Erasmus Mundus, but also try to help in various other scholarship, which is given globally for bachelor's, master's, PhD, and maybe even postdoc, because I've been also working with several professors and people, helping people get Marie Curie postdoc opportunities itself, which is very competitive, or ERC applications, which is even more difficult for people in Europe. So I just wanted to kind of maybe keep it a bit more interactive, and according to the audience out here, kind of bring up much more interesting perspectives here. Out of the people out here, how many of you, maybe in the chat, you can just put in how many of you are bachelors or masters or PhDs here. You can just write bachelors, masters, PhDs, where at least I know how I can tailor the discussion. Or how many of you are looking for scholarship abroad, and what level you're looking for? Okay, I see lots of people pursuing masters, looking for PhDs, some of them of your bachelors. Yeah. Okay, I see that majority of crowd is masters and PhDs. So I would just try to walk you through regarding these things, and then come back to bachelors also to give you a bit more perspective. So when it comes to masters, again, there are several scholarships which is available across the globe. And one being Erasmus Mundus scholarship itself, which is given by the European government, wherein you get an opportunity to basically study in minimum 2 different countries, maximum even 6 different countries. It's a fully funded scholarship. And just to touch upon the scholarship idea itself, scholarships comes in various varieties, some given by the government, some given by the private sector, some basically by the universities itself. In all these scholarships, the most important thing which everyone is looking is for how well you build your profile. So as Dr. Jagdish showed you, the most important thing is you need to basically showcase your profile aspects. That means that, one, your academic merit. Yes, you need to be qualified and good in terms of your academia. That doesn't mean that you have to be in the top 1 or 2 or something, even at least in top 10 or top 15% is something considered to be good to start with. And they give you some kind of points for that. Secondly, the internship, work experience, projects, including the volunteering thing, all these things are accounted for in your profile building aspects itself. And then finally, it's also about your extracurricular activities, whether it's curricular, cultural, sports. We tend to ignore that. Yesterday, I was just talking to one of my mentee who's planning to apply for some of the scholarships in US, and she was a university champion in her pre-universities, but she never wanted to put that in her CV. And this is a thing, like we undermine our own achievements because we think that to get an admit, to get a particular scholarship, it's all about just the CGPA, being a topper in a class. It's not the case. So ultimately, the most important thing is to focus on how you build your profile. So most of us do not focus on that. So those of you who are listening, both for masters and PhD, for masters, you need to basically have at least in your bachelor's, maybe a publication, or should have gone to a conference and then done lots of good, interesting things relevant to the subject. And what I've observed among lots of students is that many of them do internships for the sake of it. Many of them do volunteering just for the sake of it, get a certificate. But when we talk about the subject, right, when the interview happens in a scholarship committee, they don't even have a basic understanding of the subject. So please don't do that. And if you're genuinely interested in any life science, let's pick any life science subject. If you're genuinely interested in a particular subject, if you have genuine understanding of the subject, it's very easy to get a scholarship. But what I've observed in my last 10 years of being in this whole mentoring aspects is that many of them are not genuinely interested in a particular subject. They were picked because somebody told them, or they didn't get basically other subjects to get into. See, past is past. We cannot really go back and say, okay, I didn't actually pick up the subject what I wanted. But what you can do is now in whatever subjects, basically, if you think my own life, I was not interested in mechanical engineering, to be honest. Somehow my mother, who has never done, probably she's a 10th or 12th pass, she felt that mechanical engineering was much safer bet for me to get, a safer job, to have a safer life. She thought that if I do mechanical engineering or electrical electronics, I'll get a public sector job. In fact, it happened. Her prophecy came true, but I didn't pick the public sector. I went for a private sector. But what I'm saying is that one thing I've learned in my life is that I understand that parents have opinions, friends have opinion, peers have opinion. But the most important thing is for you to truly follow your passion and genuinely be interested in what you're trying to do. And if you have that kind of a mindset, it's very easy to get scholarship. It's very easy for those of you who are aiming for PhD or even doing PhD, want to do postdoc in different parts of the world. It becomes very easier when you're committed to a particular subject, right? When I say that when you're committed is that it's not in terms of marks. See, I used to think that even when I did mechanical engineering, I scored very well. But when I think about my own classmates, some of them were just too brilliant in the subject, just that they could understand the depth of it, which I couldn't. In some of the cases, I had to memorize, while I saw some of my classmates were just too good in their approach. And actually, this is where I learned from them how to even take experiences and learn a subject in a different mechanism. So this is something which I would love to share with you guys today, is that to build this profile, you need to just immerse yourself in understanding the subject, not from a perspective of just scoring marks. Yes, marks is important, but to be honest, if you're really, really interested in a particular subject, I've understood that marks automatically comes because you'll be so good at understanding the subject. It's very easy to express that in exams itself. But I think most of us do not kind of immerse ourselves into a particular subject. So the first and foremost thing is, as I said, after this conversation, I will definitely send out the list of scholarships specifically to life sciences for bachelor's, master's, PhD, to Divya and also Dr. Jagdish. They can circulate the whole list of that to you. I didn't want to just present that. It's not interesting right now. But the most important thing is everybody is desperate or want a scholarship, but nobody is wanting to put the hard mile. So in today's talk, I just wanted to stress upon that. Like if you're really aiming for a scholarship for master's, bachelor's, or a fellowship for PhD or postdoc, it is absolutely doable. So there are three main things which you need to kind of focus on. The first and foremost thing which you need to focus on is how you can actually meet the basic criteria. So the first and foremost basic criteria, which everybody kind of forgets or don't put focuses on, is the communication. So if you want to basically get an education abroad, right, the first and foremost thing everybody is looking for is your acumen with regards to English speaking ability. Because if you're not able to have skill sets in how to write basically good in English or speak in English, this can be one of the biggest drawback for you to get not only a scholarship, but also an admit. So if those of you thinking that only the marks or only the CGPA or the other things is important, the first and foremost criteria is the language. It becomes very, very critical. So that is something which all of you have to focus on. This is something which I've seen many people miss out on. And second thing is, as I've already been talking about, is the profile itself. So many of us tend to only focus on either the, academia, or we tend to focus too much on just one other thing, right? So we need to kind of divide ourselves and try to build everything in a very holistic manner, which is totally missing out there. So focus on developing a holistic aspects of your profile. And that's something which is very, very important. So try to do a couple of internships, volunteering with some NGOs, even being part of FABA and contributing to the mentoring of other people. So all these things become very, very important in your development. And don't do this for the sake of doing it, but take different skill set learning from each of these aspects you're going to do, because that becomes your vehicle to really kind of convince the committee that why you're the suitable candidate for all these scholarships and opportunities. So these are the 2 points. And the third and the most important thing, which many of us struggle in this, is the presentation of the documentation. So you have the basic communication is critical. Second thing is the profile building. Third thing is the profile presentation. Most of us, again, don't know how to present it because we have not been exposed to how to develop a CV, how to basically write a motivation letter, how to basically crack an essay, how to write an essay. And this is where a lot of people I've seen has huge potential, especially from tier 2, tier 3 cities in India, are incredible people, like incredible profile, but they're missing out just because they don't know how to basically go about and build and submit the profile presentation itself. So if you can tend to focus on these 3 things, getting a scholarship or fellowship for PhD becomes very easy. Many of the times, even before applying, we all have insecurities. We think that, oh, I'm not from IIT, I'm not from NIT, I will not get a scholarship. Already, we ourselves will think that, okay, we are undermining our own values. I don't come from IIT, so NIT, to be honest, I never even aimed for it. I was never a big believer of cracking competitive exams. It's just I'm not saying that people should not do it, but what I'm trying to say is that there are always alternatives to grow in your life and to make your opportunities. So a lot of my mentees now, many of them are not into competitive exams. They're very much focused on holistic development, holistic profile building. So those of you here, I think that's the most important thing you need to focus on in trying to go about building your portfolio or profile. So I think I would just like to, I know that it's one-way communication, but I would like you guys to just ask openly questions. I'll send the list, of course, to all of you. I'll basically even send some checklist, how to approach a scholarship, how to do it. I didn't want to do it more like a presentation as of today, because I just wanted to keep it interactive, because there's never a right or a wrong answer. It's more about you openly asking any questions about any confusions or doubts you have. And I just wanted to keep it more open to discuss with you right now.
Thank you, Pawan. Anybody have any questions? Guys, this kind of opportunity, you'll never get it. Trust me. I mean, I went to abroad. I also applied for many fellowships and scholarships, but I was all alone. So you have this opportunity to talk to Pawan, who has mentored more than 750 students.
Yeah, and don't be shy. There's nothing wrong or right? We all have doubts. We all have inhibitions towards a certain thing. Maybe some of you who are doing PhD, you want to do postdoc. And okay, one thing I just want to say to all of you is that I think it's very important that all of you focus on being mobile, whether within the country or outside of the country. It doesn't really matter. Say, for example, if I'm from Bangalore, it's always good that I go and get myself exposed in different parts of India also, because mobility puts you out of comfort zone. You get to meet with a lot of different kinds of people to work with, education system, right? What happens in Andhra Pradesh could be very different what's happening in Assam, right? Or what happens in Bangladesh. So that is something has been a huge factor for me to grow as a person, as an individual, through the Erasmus Mundus experiences I had. And secondly, the thing is, just by sticking and doing everything, master's, bachelor's, PhD in just one, the learning and your growth will be very, constrained. That is on the professional side. And on the personal side, it has a huge impact. And I think in India, we have this all gender thing, right? Okay, guys don't cook, guys don't clean, it's only women. You'll be coming across all these biases, you'll be changing, and you'll actually grow as a better human being. And probably you'll come back and actually start helping your mother in a very different way, your spouse in a different way. And I think that's also very critical for growth and as a potential as a nation also. And I think this is something which is also very critical and a growth factor, which you'll also see when you're mobile, when you go to different countries. You learn how to budget yourself. You'll understand how to basically manage your finances, how to basically deal with various legalities, compliances, visa, whatnot. So it really toughens you as a person. And for example, for me to get a confidence to open a startup in India, it's just because I got out of the typical middle class mentality, because I could see that people, even without money, were taking risk abroad. And for me, I was still very much stuck in the same bubble all my life. Okay, I'll find a better day. I'll find a better time for this. But I think this is where I think the kind of friendships, the kind of people, the kind of network you'll have, it'll give you a lot of confidence to do different things. So that's why I encourage all of you, even if it's the shorter mobility or longer mobility or whatever it is, try to get opportunity. And one thing I can tell you completely is that if you open your eyes, there is gamut of scholarship which is available. There's a gamut of fellowship which is available. And I keep telling people, one of the saying which we always worked in Norway is that rejection or a no today is a delayed yes. It's always like that. But if you give up very quickly, say I had my mentee who applied by herself. She didn't get into scholarship when she did by herself. She reached out to me. She tried the same program after 1 year. She got mentored and she got not just one, she got multiple scholarships. So sometimes it's just, you just don't know how to express yourself. You have all the qualities, you just don't know how to do it. So find a person who genuinely wants to help you out there. And I think this is a great association where probably you'll find a lot of people who would be willing to help you. Step outside your comfort zone and also be ready to put in the hard miles. Nothing comes easy. Why would somebody give you 50 lakh scholarship or 1 crore scholarship, etc., right? So they all are looking for what is something unique in you. What is the thing which you will be able to contribute to the the subject what you're trying to do. Is your research the kind of work you'll be doing? Can it actually make a difference to the society? Can it actually make a difference to a smaller community, right? And most of us do not think in this way. I think for me, this has been the huge learning, being in various parts of the world, lived in 6 countries. Most of us do not even think how I can contribute to my neighborhood. How can I contribute to the community I live in, or country or different nations? Most of us always think about, oh, how can I actually get 25 lakh salary? So the mindset is very different. So if you start focusing on you being expert in your domain, money comes, salary comes. But most of us do not focus on being an expert in our domain. Most of us run behind the quick fix, which is basically earning big bucks. And I see it's very saddening to see today that everybody is just running behind computer science. For example, in Bangalore, every look and corner I see, everybody wants to do AI, ML, not even computer science. It's all about AI, ML. And most of them do not even know what exactly AI, ML is and would have graduated already with that subject. So I feel you have a beautiful subject. Life sciences is one of the most critical thing. I've worked a lot on different aspects, working with researchers. And that's when actually I started appreciating all the other subjects. Every subject has its important value in the world where we live in. As long as you are expert, as long as you really contribute meaningfully, everybody can be successful and can actually have a huge impact, both professionally and personally. So please focus on that aspect. And I'm just happy to listen in. And if you have any question, either you can write in a chat box if you're a bit shy to ask it, or you're more than welcome to open your mic and just ask the question.
Anvesha, please go ahead. And there are some questions in the chat.
Hi, sir. Hello. Good evening, sir. I'm Anvesha.
Please.
Anvita,
Sir,
please try to introduce and then ask.
yes, sir. So actually, I am a student from the University of Calcutta. I have completed my master's and bachelor's both here from University of Calcutta in the field of biology and specializing in zoology. Then, sir, I applied in the University of Birmingham. That's in UK. It's a Rathlewood University. So that the speaker who introduced us with so many things and who told us that we have to be courageous to get the chance and to apply. So, sir, I already got some courage and to do all those things. And thank you, sir, for saying all those important, sharing all those important things. And so I got the opportunity to read in the, I got the opportunity to pursue a career in the field of molecular biotechnology in the University of Birmingham. So, sir, my question is, when I am going to University of Birmingham this September, what will be my next step to got into the to get a PhD? Because I wanted to pursue a PhD in the field of zoology or maybe biology. Like there are so many fields of biology, immunology. So, sir, what will be my roadmap? How should I plan for the whole thing? Because I have checked most of the scholarships, they just start very early. We have to prepare very early. We don't have any times to be prepared and use all those things. So my question is that how should I prepare for all those things and when should I prepare? From what time?
First of all, thank you for the question and hearty congratulations to you. And I wish you the best and success in Birmingham. It's one of the very good universities. I know there are already experts out here than me who have gone through that path than me. I can just share my own personal experience. Also, some of my mentees who have gone through this. So, for example, when I got multiple PhD opportunities, right, I got one funded from Dottie Hodgins and EPSRC in UK. The biggest difference was I was always very active, whether it was in India, whether it was abroad. For example, I can just take what were the things which actually helped me win a scholarship for my master's. So when I was actually in India, yes, my grades were pretty good in mechanical engineering. Followed that, I was very active in cricket, like sports. I was taking various leadership roles. I was very active in lots of activities. I basically did one of the live projects in KSRTC, the Karnataka State Road Transport Corporation, for 6 months, right? I did, I think, 10 or 15 industry visits related to mechanical engineering. And I took part in, 20, 30 different extracurricular activities, etc. So everything became a very foundational thing and related to why I was winning the scholarship. When I went to UK, the first thing I did was, along with my studies, which I was actually focusing on, I started actually involving in something called summer camps, right? Where I worked with university. So within the university, the international offices or the various section career services, they keep doing activities. So I indulged myself into this summer where some activities where we're building boat, we're building aeroplane and various things for go-karting race and all those things for various kids coming to these universities, spending at least 3 weeks in the University of Southampton, where we're doing these activities. So I not only learned about my own skill sets, but how to mix with these people, how to mix with different country people. So there I was learning how to build teamwork. So when I went to interviews, when I was giving interviews, all they were looking was, okay, am I actually good with teamwork? In India, what I saw is that they're looking for my English skill sets. But in abroad, they saw, okay, if this person is very inclusive, is he somebody who will actually destroy a team or actually will be very supportive to work with different people, right? And then I was involving in trying to raise awareness about STEM subjects, working with, again, international communities, going to different schools in UK, talking about STEM, talking about my experience of learning mathematics, science, and all those things. I was very much involved in buddy services where talking about University of Southampton to different universities. So I always stepped out of my comfort zone to kind of be active in wherever I was. And whether it was technical or whether it was actually non-technical, I would just put myself out there just to take opportunity and then committing to it, not for the sake of it, but to actually take some learning from it. So for you, I would say that, see, I think there's a big saying, right? Today, every job, for example, the PhD also, what I got, it was through networking. Somebody knew the professor who was hiring, and then he just invited me. I took a train, I went there. And then he was just happy speaking to me. It was very normal conversation, not like talking about recruitment itself. And then we just went on. And most of the times I've seen that the what do you say, getting an opportunity is very much through networking. So as I said, you just have to put yourself out there, both professionally and also in personal sense. I was involved in like Cake Bake Sale Day. I was trying to kind of involve with NGOs. In every weekend, I used to go to a church. I actually used to cook food and we used to give it to homeless people. So I'm just thinking about it, what and all I did back then. So I never stopped myself in just committing to just my studies and then sleeping in my room. I always just put myself out there, working on different tasks, different skill sets. So what happens is that I've seen when even I got jobs, multiple jobs in India or even abroad, many times the discussions were not related to my topic at all. For example, when I got jobs in India, one of the questions were related to cricket. What is reverse swing? You play cricket, talk about that. That's the only thing the CEO or rather the one of the management person asked. So what I'm trying to tell you is that be good at the subject what you are, but also try to really develop your network, your networking skills, and that will come very handy because then people will share with you what are the opportunities which is available, and secondly, you will be more prepared to quickly also get into PhD or further research, etc. Because most of the PhD jobs are generally given to the people within the network itself. Yeah. So that is something I would definitely recommend to you, Anvesha. And yeah.
May I also add a few cents, Anvesha? So, I mean, firstly, congratulations that you got in Birmingham. So I think you have passion for the subject. So keep that passion going on. So scholarships are just, to help you to follow your passion. So when you identify passion, scholarships will look for you. You don't need to look for them. I mean, my own story, like I applied for cancer research. I didn't apply for fellowship. Fellowships, most of the labs, when they hire you as a PhD, they will have their own funding. Scholarships are just one way of funding. Otherwise, when you are passionate, money will follow you. So don't worry about fellowships. Follow your passion. Especially when you are in biology, there are many unmet challenges. Take malaria as an example. I always give malaria as an example. Why don't we have a vaccine? I mean, COVID came in 2019. Vaccine was ready in 2020. Malaria is there from a century. Why don't we have a vaccine? Where is dengue vaccine? Where is chikungunya vaccine? Where is swine flu vaccine? Think of something beyond that, like what passion. So you are going into one of the best universities. There, forget about the money. Forget about, think about like how can you utilize that ecosystem. As Pawan said, like go and meet with like-minded people. PhDs will follow you when you follow the subject. The good thing about being in UK is that you speak English and you can directly get in touch with the whoever you seem that they're great. You can apply for Cambridge, Oxford. They all will be at your fingertips once you are passionate with your subject. So I see a lot of potential in you. I mean, the way how you open your microphone, your camera, and I see the confidence and everything. You are destined. So my 2 cents, Pawan. Yeah.
Sir, one more thing I would like to mention, sir, that I joined all the FABA sessions till the 9th one. And I am also here, like there was a seminar related to BSL-3 workshop. I got the certificates. I wanted to thank the FABA for that certificate too. And sir, also thank you for putting all the sessions on the LinkedIn. So that's help us if you miss something, so we can see it from the recording. So that's great, sir. And sir, apart from that, my another request to you is that if you could arrange a session which can help us like honing our academic writing skill. That means reading research paper or something like related to how to write research paper. Because in our universities, we aren't taught like with those things. So we don't know how to do this. We try from different sources like YouTube, Coursera and all, but there is no strict guidance on that. But if I am going, like any MSc student going for the PhD, they require that particular skill, right, sir? So it will be really helpful if you like arrange anything regarding
that. We have Dr.
that.
T.N.G. Sharma in our call, who is the expert in writing, editor in a couple of journals. Even though he's not from medical background, he's too good. Sharma sir, do you want to add anything on that? I'm not sure if he's there. He's like my niece. I think he turned and he put things on live and went off. Okay. No, we'll do that, Anvesha. Thank you for asking. So I think in the next 1 or 2 FABA sessions are already booked. We have speakers, but the next one immediately we'll pick somebody directly from Springer Nature. So we can bring directly from Nature Medicine or somebody who can tell you what exactly is publishing and what makes a good publication and what are impact factors and how you can think of publication. We'll do that.
Sir, can I make one more request? Like the speaker sir already told us to network with the people, so many things. Sir, I wanted to ask one more thing, that I have heard there are sometimes so many internships are going on in different fields. So if I am a university of a particular, like I am a student of a particular university, like University of Birmingham, and if I am approaching or doing, like wanted to do job in other type of university, like University of Southampton and maybe Oxford, Cambridge. So how to find those jobs, like where to find, apart from LinkedIn or anything? Is there any dedicated thing like for the UK students?
Don't worry about these things. Get your master's done and identify your area of interest. Don't worry about these things. Sir. They will follow you, and right, they will follow you. Identify your area of interest. I mean, you'll identify your area of interest once you're really passionate about something, and keep talking to people. They will come to you. Don't worry about these things. Follow FABA. Okay, we have experts in every nook and corner of the world. We'll connect you.
All right, sir. All right. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Pawan, there are a lot of questions in the chat.
Yeah, I'm going one by one. Just to answer to Anvesha, the thing is, as Sir also pointed out, the most important thing is if you're doing well, right? Even for me, it was very easy to get internship because of networking again. So I got into company internships in UK itself. And in UK, you have something called career support services in all the top universities. University of Birmingham also will have it. The only good thing you can do is every week, just go and visit them, book an appointment with the counselor, talk to different people or your alumni, your seniors, how they actually ended up getting in internships. You just have to put yourself out there. It's very easy. As Sir said, I think it's applicable to all of us. Even now for me, even when I'm doing my startup, you just need to be passionate and you need to just put in the hard miles and be consistent. So you're not going to get success in 1 day or 2 days, right? If as long as you're passionate and consistent in one or the other way, you're going to be successful. And actually, that's a very important point, because when I see people come to me for mentoring, most of them are desperate for scholarship and they want to move out of the country. When I ask them about the passion for the subject, probably 80-85% of them don't have it. And I've seen that they never win scholarship. Maybe there is a couple of outliers who win it. But those 10 to 15% who are really passionate about that particular subject and showcase the relevance and the passion to do it, even I've seen people with 7 CGPA win scholarship because their story was so true and so authentic. Even last year, or rather this year, one of my mentees, he had, I think, 60% in his law, but he won scholarship because his story was so powerful. Even to do the bachelor's in law, he struggled so much. So sometimes it's all about you being honest and authentic and having the passion for the subject and making a difference through the subject. So there are some few questions. I'll just go one by one.
Thank you,
people
sir.
Are
Thank you.
Sure. So there's a question related to can we apply for scholarship PhD even though we have done masters few years ago? Absolutely. Career break is not seen as a bad thing abroad at all. As long as you have a valid reason, if you had taken a career break but did some work, relevant work, it's absolutely fine. Or if you had to do something else, you can reason out in your motivation letter why you actually had to do something else, or you met with an accident, something, whatever it is, just be authentic. And that's absolutely accepted there's no issues with career break as such. But as long as the career break is not too long, if it's 20 years gap and then suddenly you want to come, like one of my mentee, she's been in industry for like 15 years. Now she wants to do a PhD. So it can be a bit tricky, but it's not impossible. It can be a bit more difficult, but definitely not an impossible thing. And Baji, you're asking a question, is GRE IELTS TOEFL exam related to scholarship? It depends again. Like for example, Erasmus Mundus, there are many courses in Erasmus Mundus who do not require any of these exams. They only require you to have done your education for 16 years in English, and a certificate from your school or your undergraduate university would be good enough. But if you think for US, many of them require GRE and TOEFL. If you look into Europe, IELTS or TOEFL is good enough, just English, no need for GRE. But again, in US, many universities are now waiving off GRE, waiving off TOEFL after COVID. So again, there's nothing like one thing which fits everything. It's basically about you need to see the rules and regulations set by the scholarship committee. Like for example, in Commonwealth and in Chevening in UK, they look for your English speaking abilities, right? because it's very critical for you to see you're going to do your master's or PhD. You should be capable enough to write your own original articles, right? So that's the reason they look for the language skill sets. So it's again depending on the individual thing. So just check each scholarship page and see what is required. Monisha asked, what are the fellowships for PhD students in India? There are lots of fellowships which is going on within India also. Many of the top universities, many of the even the fellowships is given by governments. I've been seeing that in India. It's a huge which is happening. So you just have to again look through it. In India for masters, of course, it's very much through again entrance exams. But when it comes to PhD, you have various options. Maybe I think Jagdish sir or somebody who's more expert or experienced in this could address
we
this.
recently made a LinkedIn post about PhD fellowships. Let me pull that out for you.
Sure.
Go
Thank
ahead.
you, sir. There are people who are interested specifically in specific PhD, etc., who have sent me masters. So what I can do is I can share my LinkedIn and also my email here. If you also want to just connect and want to kind of have a conversation, you're more than welcome. I can just share my connect. And I think I am not an expert, as much expert as sir and everybody in terms of the topic itself. But of course, if it's anything general, especially related to scholarship and fellowship abroad, I'll be very happy to tell in. But I think, as sir also kind of pointed out several times, you need to be very sure about the subject you want to do. And PhD, probably it becomes even like 50 times harder compared to masters if you're not very clear about what specific and the niche you want to do in your PhD. Most of them again think that after doing a master's, okay, anything will be fine for PhD. Not at all. You need to be as focused and as niche as possible to get into those PhD. So people who have a question like, what's the difference between PhD in abroad versus India, right? So just like bachelor's or master's or PhD, every country, for example, I did my master's in Spain and UK, and I started my PhD in Norway, right? In Spain, the education system was very different. The kind of teaching, the way how they taught was very different. The kind of assignments was very different. While in UK, I could find more similarities between how it was in India, for example. And Norway was totally, totally different for me because it was a very relaxed environment, but you had to do a lot of things by yourself. So the biggest difference, I'm not done PhD from India, so I cannot answer for that directly, because I know a lot of my friends who have done PhD from India, especially from IISc, etc. And their experiences have been very different. Many of them loved working with some of the professors in IISc, and they just enjoyed this culture of staying back, sleeping over in the campus or in the labs and doing all those things. In abroad, it's not necessarily like that. And also the length, the time where you do your PhD in Europe is anywhere between 3 to 4 years. In US and India, I think it's anywhere between 5 to 6 years, depending on the PhD and funds and all those things. Ultimately, I think PhD is very similar, whether it's in India or abroad, because ultimately you are the owner of your research, right? You just have supervisors to support you, nurture you, to encourage you. But ultimately in PhD, you are finding something unique based on your research. So as far as I understand, it's very similar, the PhD journeys as such, but probably the infrastructure, probably the support system, what you'll have might differ from university to university, whether it's abroad or India, it can vary a lot. And also the peer group can vary a lot because, for example, in universities abroad, you'll find many nationalities in your group, while in India, probably that would be a bit more confined to people more from India and maybe few from abroad as such. But I think it's very similar. But masters, I would say that it's very different because I think I've seen the heavy focus is a lot on research abroad. Even for bachelors, there's a lot of focus on research skill sets. While in India, is very much learning. It's more practical or job-based kind of a teaching. Yeah. There's a question about can we get fellowships without publications? If you're aiming for PhD, right now the competition is so high, right? Even people with good publications is sometimes struggling to get the opportunity because in some of the areas funding is drying out. So having more publication always help. If you don't have publications, how are you showing that through some other relevant experience actually counts? So it's ultimately, it's all about how do you showcase your portfolio and your profile. That becomes very, very important and critical. So I've had many students who were in masters who didn't have publication got into PhD. I've had many students who didn't have publications in bachelor's got masters. So it completely depends. So I would not. I would suggest that don't hinder yourself just because you don't have publication. You should not be trying. You should try, but convince them. Through other aspects, why you are the right and suitable candidate for that particular role. Yeah, so there's a question about the profile presentation. So it's a topic in itself. I think I'll talk to Dr. Jagdish later. I would be very happy to contribute to this event on 16th and 17th or 15th, 16th September. Because profile presentation is not a one-day kind of a job, and same thing with profile building. I think that's one of the reasons why many of them miss out on scholarship opportunities, because what I've seen in many people who come to us for mentoring, etc., come just 1 month or 15 days before the deadline, and they want you to help them to fix their profile. It's not possible at all, right? Like, as Anvesha already is thinking so much about future 2-3 years in advance, that kind of an attitude is required from individuals to obtain top admits or scholarship. So, for example, I always encourage, if you're in your bachelor's, if you're in a second year, start already kind of building your profile. Try to understand what to do, what not to do, and build all these profile aspects. So you'll get at least 2-3 years time to slowly understand what you're good at, what you want to do, and then build a solid profile. Profile presentation is all about being authentic. And I know it sounds easy, but many of us have this habit of just putting things in CV for the sake of it, but you would not be even good at those things, right? So more authentic you are in your CV presentation, in your SOP, the story, and in your journey, why you want to do this particular same thing, again, goes back to the same aspect of passion, which Dr. Jagdishan talked about. As long as you have the authenticity combined with passion, the profile presentation becomes extremely easy. And it's your skill set, right? Some of us are very good at writing, some of us are not. Right? I used to be not very good at writing, but I've picked up that skill how to write these things very well, because I've been helping a lot of people. I help myself and also have a lot of people, and I've improved that skill sets. So presentation is all about that. You keep writing, improve your iterations. Probably, like, one of my mentee had 60th version of his CV before we submitted that to scholarship committee. Some of my mentee did it in 5 iterations. The same feedback what I gave for my mentee A, who took 60 iterations, the same kind of feedback my mentee B took only 5 iterations, right? So you need to be very comfortable to say, hey, this is good enough for me now to submit. Most of us do not put that effort. Most of us just put in some random CV and then want to get scholarship just because we had a good CGPA. So the format, the content, how we present, the choice of word, the typos, the grammar, everything matters, because that's what people are looking into, right? How are you? So that's what is presentation about, and we can do a specific topic only on that itself. So which course is better after bachelor's degree in biotechnology? I think this is one of the most typical question I get from all the students, whether you're from biotechnology, whether you're from mechanical, computer science. All I can tell you is, what is that one subject or few subjects which enticed you the most during your undergraduation? What is that course which you really felt, wow, I want to do something about it in my future? Because I think we are a bit misguided towards a career, unfortunately, here in India, because we're running behind the outcome. Just like scholarship, we're running behind the salary. As long as you really are passionate about a particular subject, you can really do well in that subject, and you can actually get lots of good professional thing. So I would say that choose what is exciting to you, what really you are passionate about, and then focus towards that. Because there's no particular subject which is good or bad. It's all about how passionate are you related to that particular course itself. I think I don't think there's any more questions here. So what I can tell you is that as long as you're really committed to giving a try, because many of the times, I don't know how, Anvesha, what was your story, but many of us think that we're not good enough. Right, this is like some kind of a syndrome all we have, like, oh, I'm not good enough for scholarship, I don't have this profile, I don't have this. Unless we try, unless we fail, how are we going to succeed? For example, I've been doing 2 years startup, right? I barely made any.
Please, I have something to say.
Yes, please.
Okay, please. My name is Dr. Igwe. I have a lot of postgraduate students under me who are actually also applying for the scholarship. But sometimes they are requesting for recommendation or acceptance by the research person in a particular institution, like the TWAS full and Fulbright scholarship. Sometimes they request for a recommendation or a letter of acceptance from the lab. And because we don't have people in different labs outside our places, it becomes difficult for us to be able to access such a grant or scholarship. How do we mitigate this? Because we look up to a situation where we have, like the one I saw in India, I was searching for somebody in Bangalore who could actually link me up to any of the institutions that could give a recommendation letter that would come to their lab and work. But we could not get until it elapsed. So we lost that opportunity, and we also have other opportunities that will come. So how do we find other people that give recommendation in their labs? Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. If I understand your question, what I've seen of people doing it's a bit tricky. It's not so easy, right? Because you don't have direct connections. And I think that's where FABA can really support in these situations. So what has happened, at least the mentees, what you have helped is that cold emailing people and trying to reach out to them directly can help you get these opportunities, etc. And of course, then when you do those work, it becomes easier for someone to give you a letter of recommendation, etc. Without that, it's a bit tricky situation. I don't have a very conclusive solution for this. I think it's all about trial and error, where you actually reach out to people and reach out to multiple people, but not by just being generic about your outreach, but being very specific about why you want to collaborate, why you want to do research, and then getting an opportunity to work with these people. And through which you can, of course, then lead to getting a proper recommendation, which can come handy for your scholarship opportunities itself.
Maybe I can also add a few things there. Dr. Chibu, I think you're not joining from Nigeria, right? Okay.
I'm joining from Nigeria.
Hello, hi. Hello to Judy as well.
Thank you very much.
Great job bringing you onto one platform. So I can add a few things, because this is a very recurring problem. Most of us struggle to get recommendation letters, especially in toxic cultures. Sometimes where PhD bosses or others, they really want you to not to leave the lab, or otherwise they might have some other impression on you. So one thing that I see is that sometimes your friends or somebody whom you have worked in your masters or bachelors, you can reach out to your teachers to give references, because this is one of the unexplored areas which we think that only our boss can give the reference, but actually you can also reach out to other people for references. Or one more thing is that somebody who's starting a career, references are kind of a must, guys. Like sometimes they may not need, but references, unfortunately, because imagine that you need to hire somebody from India or Nigeria and you're sitting in Germany. How will I get to know whether you're a good candidate or not? I can only see your document, or I can interview you, but how can I judge it? So that's where I need to rely on somebody who is giving a reference on behalf of you. So this is where you need to somehow prove your credit worthiness before, not credit worthy like your your worthiness, either your conduct or anything. So have that attitude wherever you work, showing that you are a good candidate, being that references will follow you. So this is one thing, like especially bachelors and masters, have that in mind. Being good with your professors or somebody who could be seniors who are doing PhD before you, they will be your references. So for example, I gave a lot of references to many people, but I never mentored them, and my references worked because they were just good with me and they showed passion. So this is one thing that you need to keep in mind. References are a must. You cannot go around it. You need to somehow tell all the stories when you say that you do not have references. But references can be explored much more beyond your laboratory. You can ask your teachers, you can ask your somebody well-wishers whom you have worked with directly or indirectly. That will help.
And just to add to you, sir, so that's why I recommend always to do internships, projects, volunteering, because then you have a wide range of people to get references from, and you're not just kind of sticking to only one person who kind of becomes a make or break. I've seen situations, it's a bit sad, the toxic culture where
I had one of my mentee not win Erasmus Mundus scholarship because one of a referee who she really believed scored her very low, because we got this course after the committee. We were shocked. She just missed by point something, and we were wondering like what happened, because I would expect all the references to give full score, right? But she didn't actually get full score from one of her professor itself. So it becomes very important that you actually choose the right people who genuinely like you, who want to see you succeed, who want to see you grow as an individual. And there are many ways to do this, and it's not just limited to your projects or your theses. You could just go beyond this thing, and that's why involving yourself into multiple things can easily give you that kind of an opportunity. And right now, I think a lot of people can do a lot of things even virtually. You don't have to even confine to a physical internships or volunteering. Yeah.
Well said, Pawan. Really well said. Yeah.
I generally, sir, as of course, I don't know how many people, I know that you guys have helped so many. I generally would love to kind of work closely with FABA, because I do believe that especially one of the main things in cohort we have been focusing is also on non-populistic courses, because I think that was for me an eye-opener. Even though I'm an engineer, I think one thing I really felt that there's a huge scope for non-populistic courses in India, especially for people to make a big difference. And I think COVID is a big learning. It's not the engineers who saved people to live in the world, right? So it's basically life and natural scientists who were very much behind the vaccine and stuff. So the thing is, we need all kind of people. So I would be loving to help and see more people, especially who are coming from tier 2, tier 3 cities in India, who are from various institutions. If there are students who are very, like, for example, like Anvesh, who are very committed, who are very motivated to kind of make a difference for themselves and have a passion, we'd be very happy to help them, whether it's to find bachelor's opportunity with scholarship, or to master's with scholarship, or even PhD or postdoc. More than happy to at least point out what is available out there, what they can start giving a try. And if there, we can see how FABA and we cohort can collaborate specifically in this to maybe even handpick few people and try out something this year, and maybe end up helping at least 25, 30 people to end up winning full scholarship. I think this is the right time, because from September onwards, the applications will start in, and definitely we can do some kind of a specific mentoring program here to handpick and help people who are associated. And that also will give a lot of awareness about FABA to the whole gamut of people across the globe.
Sure, Pawan. Well,
Okay.
let's collaborate.
Yes, thank you. I still have something to say, please. Can I go on?
Any others? Are there any other questions?
Yes. Hello. I am interested in postdoc.
Yes.
Hello, sir. I'm interested in postdoc.
Mm-hmm.
And the situation, I have applied a couple of times, and I didn't get positive results. But I am still searching for a link, so that if FABA will be a link that will always submit a document for review before finally submitting to the.
Yeah, I will share. So what I can do, Dr. Shubhuza, is that I will share a document list for websites or scholarships available for bachelor's, master's, PhD, and also for postdoc, right? See, with PhD and postdoc, it's very much related to the universities and the funding each of the professors have got. So it's not like there's a set of scholarships or fellowship which is available. It keeps varying every year depending on the funding each of these research group or the professors have, right? But at least I can share with you some of the top ones which are having a recurring kind of, for example, like postdoc. One of the best schemes to do that in Europe, across various parts of the European countries, Marie Curie Fellowship. I've been helping lots of people specifically on this postdoc, but of course, it's extremely competitive. Probably is one of the most competitive, because around 10,000 top-notch PhDs apply for this, and only around 1,000 of them end up getting these postdoc opportunities. It's fully funded. You get almost, I don't know, in Indian rupees, it's in crores, to basically study or basically do research in 2 years. And then, of course, you can then convert that into a ERC, early stage, or expert, etc., different grants. So there's always a means to get opportunities. But as you progress in your career, in bachelor's, it's much easier. Master's is a bit more difficult, for PhDs more. So as you progress in your career, the number of funding or the scholarship fellowship becomes lesser. and also the competition is much more higher. But as I said, it's not impossible, but it depends on how good is your profile versus what opportunities exist out there, and how willing are you to kind of fill the gaps what you want to achieve. I'll share all the information with Dr. Jagdish and Divya, and them. I think they're more than happy to share with all of you. And whoever can benefit from it, they can, of course, have a look at it, either give it a try by themselves, or if they have questions, they can always come back to me or doctor to kind of get support and guidance.
Sure, Pawan. So I mean, there are a couple of opportunities that are knocking at your door now. Like, I mean, Pawan is stressing you to go outside and do some internships and build your circle, right? Exactly for providing that, we have a couple of people in the circle now. Gayatri is in the meeting, but Gayatri, do you have time to showcase your job ad that you have? Hi, good to see you.
Hello, sir. Yes. So hello, everyone. My name is Gayatri. I work at IKP Knowledge Park, which is a science incubator. And I had posted about a job description in our Bangalore office. I had sent that in the FABA Fridays group, and Jagdish sir, Farhan, they just wanted me to talk about it for a bit. So what I'll quickly do is I'll just do just two things. One, I'll give a brief introduction about IKP Knowledge Park, the company itself, and then I'll move to the job description just to give a quick thing. So
by the way, Gayatri also got job through FABA, right?
Yes. So someone mentioned the biosafety and security workshop by FABA. And I had joined that as a student, as a master's student. And during that, Dr. Rangareddy Buri sir, he had invited us to the PHIC Expo. And during that expo is when I met people from IKP, and that's how I got introduced. So networking definitely helps.
Networking through FABA, right?
Yes, networking through FABA. Right. So I'll quickly share my screen.
So IKP is doing fantastic job in Bangalore and Hyderabad, guys. So they're helping a lot of startups. They're also any startup who are like anything they want in life sciences, they are the people. It could be real estate, it could be marketing access, it could be funding. Government is funding through IKP, Biotechnology Ignition Grant, and many other grants.
Please let me know if you can see the screen.
Yes, Gayatri, go ahead.
Okay, so hello everyone. IKP Knowledge Park is a premier private science park located in Hyderabad. It's a non-profit and an incubator for multiple startups. And these are the various programs under IKP. And if you can see the cursor here, Amrit Grant Challenge Jan Care is a grant program by BioAsia on digital health and that's a grant funding program. And it mostly, we found a lot of solutions in AI and ML. Like Pawan sir was saying, that's quite the hot topic right now. Here you'll also see that there's Athena, which is an in-house platform that IKP is building to onboard all the data of our startups, and it's going to turn out to be a huge database. And A Labs, Analytical Lab, there's multiple verticals under IKP. And it's powered by ICICI Bank, and these are all the funding partners. So IKP has supported over 1,000 innovators across the country, and 176 BIG awardees, and the number is growing. It's located, the companies and startups we support are located across the country, including the Northeast, Far West, up top in Jammu, and throughout the south of India as well. BIG is a Biotech Ignition Grant, which you might have heard of. And this is the poster for it. The call is currently open. I see that there are a lot of master's, PhD students looking forward to postdocs as well. So any Indian citizen who is a graduate and has an idea in life sciences, whether it's biotech, medtech, agriculture, clean tech, any of these is open to apply for this call. And you can contact me later offline, and I'll be happy to share the details about this. It is a 50 lakh grant. And IKP also gives mentoring services. Like Jagdish sir said, we support the startups throughout, from their ideation stage till to see that the startup succeeds. And there are grant programs from BioAsia, DST, and we also have an in-house IP and legal team to help with patent filing and such, and definitely networking connects and such. And these are all the other programs that we support with as well. So mainly there's a 200-acre campus in Genome Valley in Shamirpet in Hyderabad. And you can check out our LinkedIn page for IKP, where we post about the jobs available and any recent events, latest updates. And IKP Eden is the Bangalore office, and that's where the current job description that I'm going to talk about, that's where the opportunity is. So this is the end of the slide. Just a moment. Now I'll share the job description. Are we good here, Jagdish sir? Do we have another 2 minutes?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean,
Okay.
this is all interaction. So the FABA Friday is all about interaction.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes, hope this is visible.
Yes.
Okay. So like I said, at the IKP Eden office, that's where our prototyping center is. And that's where, this is for a data management associate at IKP Knowledge Park. This, I have sent it on the group already, but let's make this useful, right? Showing this in the session. So let's do a quick run through of what this JD, what kind of hints you could take from this job description. So designation is data management associate. And it could work from the Bangalore office or Hyderabad or work from home team, but know that it will mainly be associated with the Bangalore team. And qualification, it is open to any graduate, bachelor's of information technology or in computer applications. So any science graduates would be eligible as well. And preferably someone with 1 to 3 years of experience, entry-level jobs or anything, but even freshers are welcome if you can show that you have some experience working with some data analysis. The responsibilities would be to collect, analyze, and record details of various startups. So you have to understand that IKP deals with and supports hundreds of startups every year in various grant programs. And we are building an in-house platform, Athena, so where we'll have a dashboard. And through various programs, sometimes, so we have to have clear data as well. We are generating a lot of data. We are managing it as well. And that's how this job opened up. So if you can, if as a candidate, you can convince us that you are good with data analytical tools. Let's start with the basic one like Excel. Even if you've done any college projects or any entry level at your current job as well, if you have some expertise, experience using Excel or other tools, so just show that and bring that as a candidate, bring what you can do. And so it is also important to collect authentic data. And the best opportunity I see is that you will get to interact with startups directly. It won't just be a plain desk job and that you just deal with data at the back as a data entry operator. That's not the idea. The idea is that you will interact with the startup, collect the data and analyze it and interpret it as well. So through this, we also see that there is scope for this role, right? In the long run, the DMA will have career growth to be a coordinator or reviewer. Just for context, let me tell you that I am a coordinator right now for grant programs in one division. So from data management associate, you could also grow to be a coordinator and later a review for all of the startup funding applications. Right. And then the skill set, you will have to be thorough with your data analysis and you should be able to gather effective filtering, consolidation. If you have been working as a GRF, maybe in the lab, you'll know that you have to be confident about it, that you have dealt with data from the lab. So how have you done that? If you can portray yourself well, that should be a good example of your skills. And definitely we're looking for someone smart and who's good in working with teams and someone who can quickly learn on the job. All of these are major pointers that are needed for this job, right? And you should be quick with your learning and definitely problem solving and show that you are excited and, have fun with analyzing data. And right, so just bring a positive attitude to work and show us that you're smart and you're, and if, since the jobs are located in Bangalore and it's all about startups, right? So why I told you about IKP is because that's the company that's posted this job description. So what would I do as a common pointer? Like I would go look up the website, the LinkedIn page, what are the latest updates? And, try to see, okay, this is the person who has posted their email ID. So what are they up to? What kind of startups have they interacted with? And if you're somebody who's new to the whole innovation ecosystem, that's okay. Go look up, just go Google maybe. Okay, which are the healthcare startups in Bangalore, in Hyderabad? Show that you have some interest, bring your enthusiasm to the table. and just let that reflect in all of your CV and your interview as well. And I'm sure with FABA Fridays, the previous 10 sessions, there have been sessions on CV making and cover letter, networking, all of these sessions, right? So just bring in all these pointers, and this is the end of my run through about the job description. Thank you.
Amazing, Gayatri. Thank you so much. I think next session you should take.
Thank you, sir.
Great. So there are also two more jobs that came in our when I think now we'll have a lot of jobs that will come through FABA. So this is a job ad that has given by 3 startup companies. So very, very important job ad. So it's called in vitro biology scientists. So very basic molecular biology. So they're looking for, we are seeking highly motivated. So this will be going through FABA. So startup approached us and then we are recruiting. So mostly somebody who has skills in molecular biology, microbiology, and biochemistry. They will be doing lots of in vitro toxicology studies and everything. So if somebody who has finished MSc or MTech in biochemistry with a little bit of experience, we are also asking for a better pay rather than underpay, because usually master students, they're paying 10,000 and 15,000, which is like, for me, it's too little. That's why we are pushing from FABA for startups to hire a little bit more. So all these jobs will be advertised on FABA channels. Please stay tuned. This is one job. Another job with Tilak sir was there, right? So he recently got a couple of crores for his organization, and I'll share his job ad. So he is looking for head of department pharma compounds testing. So this one will make it available. Still some typos are there. So the salary package is also quite good, like around 1 lakh to 2 lakhs per month. And they are looking for somebody who is a go-getter and be the department head for pharma testing. So lots of jobs will be opening up in FABA. So if you are already ready for job, make sure you apply through FABA channels. If you're not ready, we are here to train and connect you with. That's all. Pawan, back to you again.
Oh, no, this is fabulous. I was just thinking, like, I wish we had something like this long ago, but this is brilliant. And it's great. I would thank Divya for connecting. And it's been, for me, also been a huge learning. Like, okay, there are these brilliant associations. Only thing I can just tell is that people who are listening in and also people who are not listening in, to kind of make use of these opportunities, because once these opportunities misses, it's very difficult, right? You then regret after 5 years, oh, I should have done this. I've seen so many people, even my own classmates, who never took it seriously. Now they regret, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Because once you get into something which you don't like, you'll always be in that suffering mindset. So I would just encourage everybody, whether you feel yourself you're not ready, just give it a try, whether it's a job, whether it's a scholarship, what it is. As long as you keep trying, you don't know. And it's absolutely okay to get a no, get a feedback from the people. Even for example, when Gayatri showed the job, apply for it. Even if you get a no, just ask them for the feedback. If they have the capacity to give you feedback, then of course, take the feedback, improve yourself, learn, and then keep applying. The same logic works to any scholarship or top admits also. So just keep trying and just be consistent with your passion towards a particular field. And sir, I think I would love to, as I said, discuss beyond this conversation with you and Divya, and then see how I can contribute. Specifically, you could hold a, since you guys are focusing on career, if you could also do something specifically on scholarship for life science students during that event on 15, 16 September, I would be very happy to help, as I said.
We can, I mean, you can come as your startup and set up a booth there in our thing. So you can be there. And so, as I said, FABA is a non-profit. So we are, and FABA Academy especially is all about students and somebody industry inside us here. We do not expect anything in return. It's only out of goodwill. So because it all goes back to our Redana sir's will. So they started FABA 20 years back to help students. But only thing is we became too big and we organized mostly government to government, but we neglected students. That's where in 2020, it came back to students again. And now our team, Divya, Shahma, Farhan, and everybody are aligned with this initiative. Of course, we also do big events, like if you have seen our thing, like Assam Biotech Roadshow we are organizing, where Chief Minister is coming. One of our startups are being released by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, their products, so we have to be there. And our partner in US is organizing a couple of conferences. We also do with plant biotechnology. So we do that, but we don't neglect students. And since you are helping them, please come and help us.
Sure, I'll get in touch with Divya after this. Yeah, thanks.
Yes. Any other questions, guys? I mean, Many of you are not opening cameras. That means you are not at all proactive, and this determines whether you'll be succeeding or not. It's not my curse, but this I have seen. So if people are not even able to open their cameras, that means they're shy or they're afraid, and that's it. Many opportunities lost. Because now you say that I attended last FABA Friday 10 times. I never saw you. I don't even remember your name because there are like 1,000 people here. And that's where you need to be proactive. Show your face whenever there's an opportunity. One of my good friend in Heidelberg, he runs a company called Biomedics. Never miss an opportunity to be fabulous. He used to say that. Any opportunity, you should be fabulous. It could be your skill set, the way how you dress, or the things that you're bringing onto the table. Be fabulous here. I mean, be fabulous on this FABA Friday. How can you be? Open your mics, open your cameras. Great. Any questions? So, Siliveru, Yeshwante Sena, it looks like you're coming from Sri Lanka. Hi, Vaishnavi. Tiyasha, I see some bubble in your photo. Okay,
Wait, sir,
Praveen.
I don't know why I cannot see my profile.
No problem. At least you turned on your camera. That shows you are courageous. Hi, Chanakeshwa. Chanakesha, you should bring all your Kadapa team onto this video, man.
Yeah, definitely, sir.
Yeah, very good. Great, guys. If there are no questions,
you,
thank you for joining. Yeah, Chanakeshwa.
Sir, how are you, sir?
Doing good.
Thank you to FABA, sir. I got a certificate from RT-PCR program. Thank you once again. Thank you to FABA.
Sure. There'll be also CRISPR workshop soon coming up.
Yeah, I will be.
Very good. Great then. Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining. Feel free, please join our FABA Friday WhatsApp group, like our LinkedIn page, and if there are any questions, you can directly write to Pawan, or otherwise you can write to our FABA team. We will be happy to help you out.
Sure. As I said, I'll send all the until Monday. Divya, I'll send all the list what I said in terms of scholarship. I'll just curate it specifically for life sciences, and also kind of create it for bachelor's, master's, PhD, etc. And then please, you're more than welcome to share. Hopefully, many of them end up winning some top scholarships.
Thank you so much, Pawan. So kind of you. Thank you for kindly agreeing. Soon I have reached out to you. I hope everyone have really benefited from your talk.
Thank you. I see Uma Shankar in the chat. Uma Shankar, are you already placed at IICT?
Sir?
You already placed at IICT. I saw on LinkedIn that you got a job at IICT.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Otherwise, there was one startup looking for exactly for your profile.
Okay, sir.
I sent you a profile, then I saw immediately your update, project assistant at IICT. Then it's like gone.
Yeah, okay, sir. Okay, sir. It's okay.
Congratulations anyway.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Okay, guys. Bye then. Thank you, Pawan, once again. I think your expertise and experience and willing to help will take you a long way and also help many others. We'll stay in touch and do something big.
Yeah, absolutely. The feeling is mutual. I came with not much idea, but I just take lots of learning, and I hope that we get lots of these kind of organizations in India. I think this is brilliant what you guys are doing, and I just wish you guys the best. And I would love to, as I said, stay in touch and contribute in whatever way I can to help some of the students reach their dreams. Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah. By the way, do you know Kiran Kumar Cheredi?
Yeah, he was one of my very close friends. He moved to US. We did Erasmus Mundus together, and then he did his MBA, and then he wanted to move to US, and he knows me very well. We have not been in touch for quite some time after he moved to US, but we were very close when we were doing India chapter and all those things.
Oh, okay. We both were good friends in Germany. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. He's a super nice guy.
His wife, Pavani, I think, right? Yeah.
I don't remember his wife name, etc. After he got married, he kind of disconnected with all the friends, more or less. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I've not been in touch with him. He's not been active also, I think, once he moved to US. Otherwise, he was always being in touch in some way.
Very clear and passionate guy. He know what he wanted for PhD.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anvesha, Dr. Sharma is here. You asked some questions to Dr. Sharma, right? He is our academic genius. You can ask him.
Oh, yes, sir. May I?
Yes, yes.
Can I ask right now?
Yes, yes.
Sir, actually, I wanted to know that I wanted to do some, I wanted to hone my academic writing skill. So, like, what should I start? I already said done. I just wanted to mention that I already done some projects with a CSIR lab in my city, Kolkata. That is CSIR IICB. That Pavan sir already mentioned that you should do some project, you have some papers and all. Sir, I have done all those things, but I think somewhere I am missing something. Like, I don't have that particular specific skills. Like, though I write research papers, I wanted to hone my skills, sir. I wanted to write that A-level research paper. So how to do that and where to start, sir?
Sharma sir. About publications, sir, you are the in charge. You can tell us like how.
Actually, which I mean, to which public journal you wanted to publish? It is journal article or?
Sorry, sir.
No, it is are you intending to publish in a journal?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's
in a journal. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you just please send it to me. The style, what is the journal style? Journal style, and what is the manuscript, so that I will just glance through and get back to you. Because,
right, sir.
because the problem is,
right,
once you are not followed the journal style, there is one chance of rejection or modifications are suggested, and the style, whatever is there. And also the title of your manuscript, your paper is more important. Is a review article or original article? So that depends. So you are writing an article, the review article.
Yes, sir. I have done 2 review articles and 1 experiment. No, I think there 1 review article and 1 is the experimental paper. And I have done already another experimental publication, but it is under communications. It's not published yet. So the work is done. Yeah. With the sir.
If it is a peer-reviewed journal, the manuscript will be circulated among the peers before its publication. And also, if it is non-peer-reviewed journal, and if it is a region-specific, also the chance of rejection is there. For example, if you intend to publish in an American journal, if the manuscript, the paper is related to the specific region in Andhra Pradesh or Telangana, they will not publish it. So like that, see, you just highlight, and I will get back to you separately. I will I will interact with you. Okay.
Right, sir. All right, sir. And sir, do you want to share any suggestion, that how can I improve my all those skills, like writing skills and all, the proper writing skill? Is there any course or anything I can?
No. I will send it across you. Actually, we have prepared one book on how to write a manuscript and how to develop it, and how like that is there. It was published 10 years ago, and I will send it to you across. Yes,
sure. It will be really helpful. It will be really helpful.
Yes, definitely.
Sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing.
No,
thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharma sir.
Thank you, Jagdishan sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
No problem. He's
I think I got my guidance.
Yeah, but he can give very good suggestions. Yeah. Sure, Anvesha. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Are there any questions or anything to speak? We should open up, guys.
And sir, just one more question. Like Pawan sir said us that he will be sending a particular list of scholarship for bio, like including PhDs, masters, and all. And sir, from where I can get it? From the I am always already a member of FABA. So can I get it from the WhatsApp group or LinkedIn? Where I can get it?
Put it in the chat. I'll I'll do it again.
We'll send you an email. We have your email ID, and we'll shoot an email.
Okay, ma'am.
Once we receive materials.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Sushri has opened the camera. Sushri, where are you from?
Hi, sir. I'm from Odisha.
Okay.
And but I have stayed in Bangalore for like 6 years, and I have completed my MTech in biotechnology and BTech also in the same field. But sir, I was not able to do any paper publication as of now. So is it like too late for me to get into a PhD program or like do any such thing?
First thing is that why do you want to do a PhD and what do you want to do PhD? What's your area of interest?
Actually, sir, I want to pursue like research because I was always fascinated by biotechnology. And, I always thought I had a very innovative mind. So I thought I will be appropriate for a job as a like scientist or going into, research field as such.
I mean, when did you finish your MTech, Sushri?
Actually, my results came out in November, but my final, like the project that I did for my dissertation, it was, it got over in July. So now it's like a 1-year gap. I don't know if will be considered a gap or not, or should it
it's not
should
a gap,
be
right?
because
It's
my
not at all a
results
gap.
came out in November, like 2022. Yes.
Yeah, but that's only your academic. Afterwards, you worked on something. You finished your thesis in July. That's what I understand, right?
Yeah, I finished my thesis. Yeah.
So that thesis actually counts. That is your experience. So that is not a gap. That's your work experience. That is your research experience. So
Okay.
I
No.
think.
My results came out in November 2022. So it will not be means it's been I guess it's already July, so it will not be considered like I'll still be considered as a fresher, right?
Yeah. So for example, I'll tell you when I finished my MSc in 2011 March, and my PhD starting date was 15 February 2012. So that was not at all a gap. That was an application phase. I was also working in the lab. So I think you should write GATE, Sushree, since you're MTech. You should look for Indian fellowships, and in the meantime, you should look for also abroad. So do not miss opportunity writing GATE.
So GATE, but I've already done MTech, and I did not actually. I have not written GATE. I went through the management seat because at the moment COVID and everything was there, so I missed my opportunity. Not that I could not have or I lack in any way. So now I can still write GATE, and it will have the equal like value.
GATE, you can also go for PhD, right? At least MSc guys, we used to write GATE to get PhD.
Oh, okay. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, just look into it. Otherwise, CSR, you can directly apply for any JRF positions in India if you want.
They are looking for like a self-funding. It's like they're hiring mostly people they have self-funding from CSIR net qualified people.
Yeah. So, no, stay tuned. Like one of the job ad that we sent in Hyderabad, a startup company is looking for a profile like yours. So you can get at least 1 or 2 years experience. There also there is an opportunity to convert into PhD.
Oh, okay, sir.
So such kind of things will come in FABA way. So just stay tuned. And then you can apply directly abroad by preparing IELTS or something. But
yeah, sir. That also I have in mind. Like if I get a chance, then definitely I'll like to go abroad.
Yeah. But don't waste time in India. Start working somewhere.
Okay, so it's better the sooner I join somewhere, the better. I should not stay
so that,
like
you get enough experience, and then that counts. And if you get publications, that's well and good. Or if you're trained well, that's also well and good.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Great. Anything else, Divya? Farhan?
I think we can wrap up it.
Okay, everybody. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Divya ma'am.
Sure.
Thank you.